Good afternoon, everyone. It's Mark Cutter, and as you know, I'm running here in the Castle Ward of Lancaster for the City Council elections. And I've been asked by a couple of people, and also in the comments here on my YouTube channel, by firefighter Barney McGrew, to address the important issue of public service. What makes a good public servant? And more importantly, how will I have time to serve the people of Lancaster? It's been pointed out to me that I'm a father of 4 children, a couple of whom you can see just in the top corner of the shop there in the poster that's behind me. And I also run 4 businesses, 2 hospitality businesses, 1 retail business, and a consultancy firm that focuses on helping disadvantaged people. And of course, therefore, I'm busy. Now, a few people, when I've mentioned these comments to them, have said, well, if you want something doing, ask a busy person. And that's quite a good response. But I want to give you a little bit more detail about me. I've always been a public servant. I sat on the board of the Royal National College for 10 years, and I sat on the board of the National Probation Service in Cumbria for 10 years, slightly longer, in fact. And that one was a ministerial appointment appointed by the Home Secretary and then the Minister of Justice. And I served both of those committees, very much enjoyed them, and I learned a lot from doing it. And I really believe in public service. And I also believe that sometimes the economy and the pressures of life actually make it very difficult for some people to make that mental space to say, actually, I'm going to volunteer and do something, or I'm going to put myself forward for something. And I'd never disrespect anybody, even my political opponents in this election, for sticking their head above the parapet and saying, I want to stand up and I want to be counted, and I've got something to say. And I encourage that in all of us. And I think one of the biggest problems that we have in this country is that some of our political organisations are not very diverse. I think we do need to encourage a bit of diversity, whether it's diversity of background, diversity of experience, diversity of different characteristics, gender, race, sexuality, disability. The key thing is that we bring as many people and encourage as many people as possible to engage in public service, regardless of whether they have a job, a business, or a family, or are disabled, or have other issues. I think we need to encourage maximum participation in all areas of our democracy. But it's really important, I think, to address the idea of how will I make time. Well, obviously you prioritise what's important. And I have to say, if my children are sick, I will prioritise that. I think that's the sort of thing you want out of both your civic leaders and also your civic servants. And I regard being a council member as both of those things. And I think, yes, feel free to vote for somebody else if you would like me to prioritise public service above my family. But I can prioritise public service above my business. I have now a competent set of staff who are well trained and who I would be able to empower by delegating more responsibility to. And I look forward to having the opportunity to do that. And the old adage is anyway, you're better off working on your business rather than in it. So I am looking forward to, over the coming months, empowering some of my staff with more responsibility to free me up to serve as best I can. And it's been pointed out that in the past some of my staff have made mistakes. And yes, they have. And in some cases, those mistakes have been dealt with by training. And in other cases, those mistakes have been dealt with by disciplinary procedures and people now working somewhere else. That's the nature of any business. It's also the nature of a learning experience for me. I learn from everything I do. And I bring with me to this election skills that I developed over 10 years of sitting on different boards, skills that I developed training as a barrister and a mediator, skills that I developed while working for organisations and with organisations like the European Commission, World Intellectual Property Organisation, UNESCO, international governance organisations from around the world, and dealing with different issues and different projects. And I think when you're making your selection of public servants, you need to look at the people involved and think about what skills do they bring to the table and who do you want to represent you. and will they do a good job of that? And if you feel the answer is yes, then vote for them. Now, one thing I would say is, whatever you are going to do on May the 7th, please vote. We are lucky enough to have the right to vote, and I couldn't support more that democratic right. And I strongly believe you have the right to vote for the people that you want to vote for, and you have the right to see the sorts of people in power that you want to see in power. I hope people watching this video will choose to vote for me, but whoever you are going to vote for, please get out and vote. Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you later.